I'm not a lone wolf, and I never was. Anything I achieve it because I am standing on the shoulders of an infinite many, seen and unseen. I'm not a lone wolf, and I never was. Anything I achieve it because I am riding on a tidal wave of universal longing. I'm dropping the I, I'm claiming the we, I'm feeling the everyone inside of me. I'm dropping the mine, I'm claiming the ours, 'cause the sum is greater than the whole of the parts. I'm dropping the I, I'm claiming the we, I'm feeling the everyone inside of me. I'm dropping the mine, I'm claiming the ours, 'cause I recognize how connected we. Every prayer that was ever said, and every tear that was ever shed, and every gesture on every day weaves us into the dancing. This is love's way. Oh, every prayer that was ever said, and every tear that was ever shed, and every step on every day brings us into belonging. This is love's way. I'm not a lone wolf, and I never was. Anything I achieve it because I am standing on the shoulders of an infinite many, seen and unseen. I'm not a lone wolf, and I never was. Anything I achieve it because I am riding on a tidal wave of universal longing. I'm not a lone wolf, and I never was. Anything I achieve it because I am standing on the shoulders of an infinite many, seen and unseen. I'm not a lone wolf, and I never was. Anything I achieve it because I am riding on a tidal wave of universal longing. I'm not a lone wolf, and I never was. Anything I achieve it because I am standing on the shoulders of an infinite many, seen and unseen. I'm not a lone wolf, and I never was. Anything I achieve it because I am riding on a tidal wave, brings us into the longing. I'm not a lone wolf, and I never was. Anything I achieve it because I am standing on the shoulders of an infinite many, seen and unseen. I'm not a lone wolf, and I never was. Anything I achieve it because I am riding on a tidal wave, brings us into the recognize how connected we are.
Hi everybody, it's Susan Stafford, the PC president again. Wanted to thank everybody for a great week, especially the PC for putting on a great Zoomsa, for all the workshop coordinators, for all the wonderful workshops you offered. There were so many things to do. It was great. I want to thank everybody who attended Zoomsa. We really appreciate having our community be virtual next year in person. I want to also thank outgoing PC members, George Peck, Secretary, Sarah Lensick, for worship, Kellen McCormick, workshop coordinator, and Greg Spahn, one of the child co-coordinators. Welcoming new PC members, Dorothy Ramsey, Cheryl Hines, and Desiree Bongers. Welcome, everyone. I also wanted to say registration is open for in-person MUUSA 2022, which will be July 3rd through 9th. Go to MUUSA.org and register if you have not already. If you registered for in-person camp in 2020 and let us roll over your deposits for the last 2 years, those are still there and will count towards your 2022 deposit. If you want to see whether you have a deposit on file or not, John is working on getting those all rolled over, so give him till about August 1st, and then should all be there under the 2022 registration. It is still listed under the 2021 registration if you want to look at it there. If you have any questions about registration, contact John Sandman, and I can't wait to see you all next week. Bye.
Hi everybody, I hope you had a great week. This is your treasurer, John Sandman, here again. Just wanted to give you an update on our finances for this year and ask your help in seeing if we can help make ends meet this year. So far we've had about $2,000 worth of donations come in, and I appreciate that very much. It's going to help us tremendously. We do have about $5,000 worth of expenses, again, Zoom licenses, care packages for the Burt kids and Meyer folks and things like that, insurance, all those sorts of things. So if you have a minute and you had a great week, would love for you to go out to the MUUSA webpage at MUUSA.org and make a donation. It would help us tremendously. And again, this is for those folks who can afford to give a little. We want you to have a great time here, and if you can extend that and help us financially, that's a great thing. Cannot wait to see you all next week in person. Hugs are going to be tremendous next year, so looking forward to seeing all of you. Take care.
Here and there create one another. Now and then face other sides of one mirror. Nothing isn't without something beside. Light is the rest of darkness. Shade is how light begins. We light this chalice here. And so we light this chalice in all places, to set down what needs to settle, to gather where we need to begin. A heat, a flame, a warmth, wherever love calls for a clarity and clearance. And in this work, may we find all these things and a balance of peace.
Hi, MUUSA campers. How are you this week? How has this been for you? I hope that you feel rested and nourished. I hope that you feel held in deep honor and love, because you truly, truly are. Let us gather our spirits for worship today with the words of Marilyn Maciel. I, you, us, them, those people. Wouldn't it be lovely if one could live in a constant state of we? Some of the most commonplace words can be some of the biggest dividers. They? What if there were no they? What if there was only us? If words could be seen as they floated out of our mouths, would we feel no shame as they passed beyond our lips? If we were to string our words on a communal clothesline, would we feel proud as our thoughts flapped in the breeze?
What a gift, what a gift, this moment, what a gift, what a gift, this breath, what a
Where Are You From? By Yamila Sayed Mendez. Illustrated by Jamie Kim. Where are you from? They ask. Is your mom from here? Is your dad from there? They ask. I'm from here, from today, same as everyone else, I say. No, where are you really from? They insist. I ask Abuelo because he knows everything. And like me, he looks like he doesn't belong. Where am I from? Abuelo thinks. His eyes squint like he's looking inside his heart for an answer. You come from the Pampas, the open, free land, he says. You're from the Yaucho, brave and strong. From the brown river that cleanses and feeds the land, that gives us the grain for our bread, the milk from the cows. You're from the mountains so high they tickle Señor Cielo's belly, where the condor roosts his family and the jaguar prowls the night. But you're also from the warm blue oceans the copper warriors tried to tame, and the elegant palm trees stretch their fingers to caress. You're from hurricanes and dark storms, and a tiny singing frog that calls the island people home when the sun goes to sleep. From this land where our ancestors built a home for all, even when they were in chains because of the color of their skin. You're from the grandmothers who search for their grandchildren, waiting, always waiting in a plaza, their white handkerchiefs wrapping the sorrow of their thoughts. You're from the sunshine that lights our path in this world, and the rain that washes away our mistakes. But Abuelo, I ask, where am I really from? Abuelo laughs. You want a place? He points to his heart. You are from here, from my love and the love of all those before us. From those who dreamed of you because of a song sung under the Southern Cross, or the words in a book written under the light of the North Star. You are from all of us. I am. The end.
Take as deep a breath as you can. Imagine it deeply enough that you can feel the experience. Take this breath on purpose, then return. Take a second breath. This time, making sure to do so with as much grace as you can envisage. Spin the air through the cycle of yourself like an elegant dancer might breathe to begin a recital. Take this breath on purpose, of grace. I'll be here when you return. Take a third breath with me. Breathe as I breathe. Or as we singing teachers might say, breathe sympathetically with me. Take this breath with grace, with purpose, and with me. I'll be with you the entire time. Consciousness, care, community, each within one breath. These are always available in the space between us. Consciousness, care, communion, whether or not they keep us well and alive will depend on whether or not we will take a breath and imagine them to life. Amen.
I am not alone. My people are in my bones. Those lyrics from Pam, our wonderful MUUSA director of music, have stuck with me since I first heard her beautiful song. Because truly, if nothing else, hasn't this past year and a half been a reminder of the great cloud of witnesses, alive and dead, who cheer us on, even when, maybe especially when it is the hardest to notice. Friends, still sometimes I wonder what the point is. Do you? The point of anything, of everything, of this thing in particular. What is the point of vacuuming the dog hair off of this couch when it's just going to be covered again within the next 20 minutes? What is the point of setting up this homeschooling corner in what used to be our dining room when I'm going to find this kid zooming into virtual class right from their perch on the toilet later today anyway? What is the point of social distancing if we can't be face to face with and hug our loved ones, and still some of them will not survive anyway? What is the point of logging into my congregation's worship service on Sunday morning when ours is a faith of more questions than answers, and I'd prefer some answers right now? Thank you very much. Yeah, good questions. What is the point? Well, Kenneth L. Patton seemed awfully sure in the words he wrote, which are often used in Unitarian Universalist worship and are, in fact, right in the back of our big gray hymnals. He said, "This is the reason of cities, of homes, of assemblies in houses of worship. It is good to be with one another. Just that simple. It is good to be with one another. And to that I say, well, okay, good for you, Kenneth L. Patton, but I bet you didn't write that in the middle or near what we hope is the tail end of a global pandemic in which we cannot actually be together. And so we have forged and continue to forge new ways together from our own homes. Because here we are, and forging new ways really is the only way forward together, isn't it? So maybe the point is to remind us that our people are forever in our bones, no matter what, no matter where. Remembering this soul deep truth, I believe, can be just the thing that brings us back to hope. And I don't know about you, but I forget where I last sat down my hope sometimes. And sometimes the very reset I didn't know I needed might just be seeing your chat comments or seeing your cat walk across the desk in front of your screen or watching your toddler run behind your chair with underwear on their head. And so maybe the point of gathering here for virtual summer camp is to remind us of hope. Or maybe the point is simply that it is a way for us to combat loneliness. Because while there is, for many of us, family chaos that makes many folks wish for a few blessed moments of solitude, it is also true that some among us would trade their solitude for just about anything right now. Some of you have begun getting back out into the world and hugging humans, but for some it has not yet become possible or wise. It's still hard. And yes, we do live in the best time in human history to be able to reach out through technology and communicate with each other. And for that, I am thankful. But we are still isolated and alone for so much of the time. I was in line to buy groceries at Kroger not long ago when a young man bagging groceries accidentally backed into the customer who was paying. The young man apologized, and the woman said, "Oh, don't apologize. No one has touched me since March of 2020. Being bumped by a person makes me feel human again." It's a lonely world right now. No matter how many devices we have blaring all at once, bringing voices and faces into our virtual space where no real live humans accompany us, maybe. And so here we do the best we can. We remember that we are all still deeply connected to and in love with one another, and we alleviate each other's loneliness, if only for a few minutes, and if only to say, "It's good to see your face. I can't wait to hug you again." So maybe the whole point of virtual MUUSA has been to make us less lonely, and I think that's as good a reason as any. Speaking of all those devices blaring at once, bringing voices and faces into our virtual space, perhaps the point of gathering for virtual MUUSA is that it has the power to rebalance us, to get the scales tipped right again, to remind us that there is more to our lives than breaking news, and that not all news is broken, to remind us of campfires and of sleeping on the ground on tents and of swimming and of feeling breezes. It is earth, air, fire, and water that keep us still connected to this web of life. And sometimes our screens do make us forget that. Maybe remembering real live summer camp experiences and imagining the ones that still await us, we hope, next summer, can help with the rebalancing that many of us so desperately need. Or maybe the point is just to remind us of what is important and what is not. I don't know about you, but I forgot what's important about 1 billion times so far this week. I bought 4 different kinds of vegan fudge in bulk from a company that Facebook told me I should follow, and that seemed like a really necessary, important purchase in the moment. It's not hard to forget what matters, is it? So, what if the point of gathering is to remind us? Again, from that Ken Patton reading, our eyes reclaim the remembered faces. Their voices stir the surrounding air. And it is important to remember why we gather these precious faces and voices around this particular faith, too. We are not just a social gathering. We are not a political club. We are a faith community. And whatever else our pluralistic, welcoming faith embodies, first and foremost is our faith in each other. Our faith that what we do together can make a difference in our world. But how? How? In a time when so many of the ways we have turned to in a different kind of world are blocked to us right now. Well, together, we're figuring that out. Because our faith has a long history of making a way where there seems to be no way. So I don't know why you came to your screens for MUUSA this year when you could be doing myriad other things. But here's what I do know for sure. I know that our people are not virtual avatars on a screen. We are real. I know that our love and our commitment to one another is real world stuff, y'all. I know that our people are in our bones. I know that love has survived this pandemic. I know that love will guide us. I know that everything is changing. Everything is going to keep on changing. Even our love changes. But I pray that it changes in the direction of growing even deeper and stronger and more fierce, faithful, determined, and resilient. This time of separation will not last always, beloveds. Hugs await the huggers. The music campground is just waiting right there for us to come on back in with radical welcome and great rejoicing. And until that glorious day arrives, we will be right here, all up in each other's homes, in each other's bones, reminding each other of why we do this. Because it is good to be together. And that might just be the whole point. My love for you, it's like fire shut up in my bones.
You're divine, my divine. 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 Where you go, I will go. Beloved, where you go, I will go with me. Where you go, I will go. Beloved, where you go, I will go. I ask my sister, people, my people, your people, my people, your people, my people, your divine, my people. For your people are my people, your people are mine, your people are my people, your divine, my divine. Your people are my people, your people are mine, your people are my people, your divine, my divine, my divine, your divine, my divine. Where you go, I will go, children. Where you go, I will go. children, where you go, for your people are my people, your people are mine, your people are my people, your divine, my divine, your people are my people, your people are my people, your people are my people, your divine, my divine, my people, your divine, my people. Where you go, I will go, and sister, where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, and sister, where you go, I will go. For your people are my people, your people are mine, your people are my people, your divine, my divine, divine, my your people are my people, your people are my people, my people are my people, your divine, my divine, divine, my divine, my people, your divine, my divine, my divine, where you go and find my children, your divine, my divine, my divine, where you go I will go, divine, where you go I will go, divine, my divine, my divine, your children, my people, where you go my people, where you go my people, your people are my people, your divine, my divine, your people are my people, your people are my
The end is, of course, a beginning, and not in that starry-eyed way where I encourage you to go into the world to make your ancestors proud and your future grateful. Your ancestors and mine were not. They literally are the earth beneath everybody. The waters are your grand ones, testing the brook's limits. My ancient mothers are still meaning life in the unleashed faucet. The generations are transformed into what you are breathing now. What we breathe is life. Made of the elements, we sister the earth, and the revolution rises again to make tomorrow from what we are right now. Every cave and creature, our breath, our tears, their living waters. And the wind shall bring us, and us the wind shall be, and one together we will be this future we dreamt and the grounding underfoot. The end is a beginning, of course, but there is no history nor forecast. The ancestors and the children are what we are made of now, so they do not cease their living. In fact, the you that you're experiencing right now, that's all of us, like it or not. So stop building tomorrows piece by piece. Go from this place and this time to catch up. Every now is waiting, and waiting is each bone of every body. Rise, dear one. We are called to complicity with freedom, justice, and joy. May these three begin in you, and may your living be indistinguishable from them. May 1,000 tasks of love begin, and dear God, may we be part of one task, at long last come to a good end. Now, always, already, and again. Go in peace, dear ones.
See you next week. I like going in that MUUSA school, and who I want to play with is Zay Zay.
See you next week. At least one of us will.
Hello, see you next week.
Cheers.
Hi, MUUSA. Can't wait to see you next week.
See you next week. Save those hugs.
See you next week.
Hi there, this is Rebecca Pace from Cincinnati. So happy to be here with MUUSA Online. See ya. Bye-bye.
See you next week.
Bye. See you next week.
See you next week.
See you next week.
See you next week.